The problem is to answer this question. If it is the case that body-soul dualism is foreign to the Bible, how is it that Christians for centuries could have been wrong in believing dualism to be biblical teaching? A crucial distinction for understanding this comes from New Testament scholar James Dunn. Dunn distinguishes between what he calls aspective and partitive accounts of human nature. Many Greek philosophers were interested in a partitive account. What are the essential parts that make up a human being? In contrast, Dunn says, the biblical authors were interested in an aspective account. Here, each part in scare quotes again, stands for the whole person thought of from a certain angle. So, for example, spirit stands for the whole person in relation to God. What the New Testament authors are concerned with then is human beings in relation to the world, to one another, and especially to God. Paul's distinction between spirit and flesh is not our later distinction between soul and body. Paul is concerned with two ways of living, one in conformity with the Spirit of God, and the other in conformity to the kinship loyalties that were so powerful in the Mediterranean culture of his time. Dunn's insight helps explain how Christians for hundreds of years could have taken dualism to be scriptural teaching. The Hebrew scriptures were translated into Greek. This is called the Septuagint. Both the Old Testament and the New Testament then contained the Greek terms that in the minds of philosophers referred to constituent parts of humans. And Christians have obligingly read them and translated them this way for centuries. One widely accepted instance of this is the Hebrew word nephesh, which was translated as psyche in the Septuagint and later translated into English as soul. More recent translations, however, use a variety of English words. For example, Genesis 2:7 used to read, "The Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." Recent translations say that man became a living being or a living creature. So, following Dunn, I conclude that there is no such thing as the biblical view of human nature insofar as we're interested in a partitive account. If Dunn and other scholars are correct, and if we could go back in time to present my quiz to the biblical authors about how many parts a human being is composed of, they would be puzzled. Well, hands, feet, head, but why are you asking? Notice that in both the Old and New Testaments, there are a large number of references to the heart, and one part of us is a heart, but of course the term is being used metaphorically there to refer to a certain aspect of human life.